Hi, I'm Robert Middleton of Ordinary Visionaries. The video today was a live session held on Zoom with about 20 people talking about ways to make a difference in your life and in the world. So it's an interactive conversation. We're just talking to people about what's important to them. And in the course of that, sharing a lot of really good ideas about what it means to make a difference and how you can do that in your life. So I hope you enjoy the session. There was a lot of value, a lot of interesting ideas, and it will give you a good sense about how these M.A.D teams work, the Making a Difference teams work. So that's it. Let's start. I've been sending a lot of emails for the past couple months on this, as you know, a couple times a week, berating you to make a difference. So just interested to know what thoughts and reaction you have to this whole thing. Jeannie.
Robert, I'll go first. Thought I was doing one thing, had the energy and interest in doing another. So my project has shifted to the one that I'm feeling the energy and the pull to do. And it's really been fun so far. And so I,
Okay.
I guess I guess what I would say is so far I'm following the energy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there there's there's a couple things, that the way I think about this, there's a making a difference project. That is, I want to take on a project that will make a difference, and that could be anything, large or small. And it has a beginning, middle, and an end. And maybe then it has a repeat. Maybe it's something that lasts a long time, maybe years. There's no rules here. It could be anything. The other thing is what I call a making a difference mindset. You're always trying to think about how you could make a difference. You're always looking at in this situation. For instance, my wife this morning, as I'm rushing to get ready, says, "Can you please back the car out of the driveway?" Because she has troubles backing up cars for whatever reason. So, in the spirit of making a difference, I don't say, "Why don't you learn how to back out the damn car?" which I've said many times. I just said, "Sure, no problem." So, in the spirit of making a difference, you're helpful. You're trying to find solutions. You're not arguing about stuff all the time. And, any course that I teach or anything I do, it's always me teaching myself because I'm a great arguer. I just love to argue instead of just helping, which I do as well. Anyway, what are the thoughts,
Mm.
Lois?
Um, I just want to share that the minute I decided to join, just a lovely opening up came. Joining in with all kinds of people, energies, and doing something. And I had thought procrastination would be my big project,
Yeah.
and because of the my joining this group, I felt this heavy weight that always came with procrastination just disappear. So just
Wow.
already there, just
Wow.
amazing. Um, so this is a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I talk about making a difference mindset. The truth is, we have a lot of mindsets, and we're not always in those mindsets, but we have a procrastination mindset, and we have a blaming mindset, and we have I wish mindset. All these mindsets. But I found the one around making a difference seems to work the best. Just and the thing that I think is so important and is hard to get across because it's such a mindset for people. When you talk about making a difference, people think it has to be grand, it has to change the world. And that's nonsense. If it is grand and it does change the world, fantastic. But if you have to start there, you're screwed. You really are. Someone is fiddling with something technical, so you might want to mute your sound. I don't know what it is, your
There you
keyboard or
go.
something. It's always something like that. Anyway, okay. Other thoughts? Hazel.
Mhm.
Well, I was watching from the beginning when you were asking about this and was feeling like I had to come up with something world shattering, something that making a difference is a big, big deal. And I
Yeah,
realized that at the moment for myself, I have some things I'm dealing with that are kind of like that. And one of them is I need to take care of myself a little bit. I have been diagnosed with severe osteoporosis,
yeah,
and it's very debilitating not to do things. And so there are a whole lot of things I need to do, the exercise every day and so on. So one project is I need to keep myself healthy, even to do other things. And at first, I felt that was a selfish thing to think about. And then I thought, no, I can't even do the other things if I don't take care of myself first. And then the second thing is we have a number of medical situations in my family. Um, and we do a lot of things to help, for instance, my daughter. And we babysit for her dog and all sorts of things. She has multiple sclerosis
yeah,
and needs a lot of help.
yeah,
So maybe this isn't right, but I felt like I was starting with myself and my family. And at the same time, I teach wonderful classes online about critical thinking, and I think I make a difference there too.
yeah,
So it's kind of both ends of the spectrum here.
Mhm.
yeah. If you can't make a difference with yourself, how can you make a difference with other people if you can't take care of your own life? So there is an aspect of selfishness that is like I'll help myself screw everybody else. We're not talking about that.
I hope I'm not talking about that at
No,
all.
because that's a mindset that some people have. I will only take care of myself, and who cares about anybody else? Okay, great. Okay, who else has some ideas to share about this? John Freedom.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Robert. Well, first of all, I really like the acronym MAD because at times I feel I just you read about the acidity or the insanity du jour, and feel like I want to do something, and so just but rather than getting mad, this is channeling that anger, that energy into doing something. And I had an epiphany years ago, I think in 2004, when during the George Bush administration, they were just the insanity that was going on back there with the Iraq War. And at one point, I just said to myself out loud, "Why doesn't somebody do something?" And then I realized if somebody was to do something, that was up to me. And then I went and volunteered for Dennis's Kucinich's campaign for a few months. But anyway, so this is yeah, I see this of course as another opportunity to rather than bitch and moan and scream and yell and kick and holler to actually do something.
Yeah, and there's some pretty awful things happening in the world right now, and there's pretty insane things happening in politics.
Yep.
And there's Gaza, and there's Ukraine, and there's all of these things. And we can feel powerless. And to some degree, we are powerless, you know, but not totally. I watch a few channels on of the Ukraine war, really good reporting on the Ukraine war and what's happening. And a few of these people raise money for Ukraine, and they do it through the people that are watching the YouTube. So you and I Another one, there's insufficient water in the world. In many places of the world, it's very, very hard, especially in Africa and some other places. And there's a organization called Charity Water, and I contribute to them. Just I can't remember what it is. I think it's $20 a month. Well, I just got a report yesterday that I had helped bring water to 10,000 people
Wow.
since I started to contribute. And it's like, they're brilliant at what they do. They are really about making a difference. This guy had this incredible insight and opening, and he started to figure out how to bring, they've done, I don't know, 175,000 water projects, and their commitment is, within X number of years, everyone on planet Earth will have sufficient water. So there can be big projects, but we can contribute to those big projects, not necessarily start them ourselves. Not many people are like this guy. Uh, okay. Let's just a couple more things and then we'll start going through the projects. Maybe a few more people will join.
Robert?
Jerry, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to kind of maybe follow up on what Hazel said. I was on the what our cancer journey was my late wife for 8 years. And she was my total focus, everything. And I gained over 40 pounds. And now she has passed away. And I'm also very, very clear that because of the cancer journey I went through, I mean, I become diabetic, my blood pressure, everything go up due to the weight gaining and things like that. So I came to the conclusion that one of the biggest projects I need to do is focus on myself. So last year I started doing this, what I call self-care. Because the truth is, if you cannot care for yourself, the foundation to really help other people are not there. I mean, we can pretend all we want. So I guess what I'm sharing with you, there's nothing selfish about that
Yeah. Yeah.
at all, right? And now
Yeah.
I have lost over 40 pounds. Now
Good
I
for
have more
you.
energy and my A1C, everything's dropping. And now I got more energy to take on a bigger project, which is I'm going to be sharing today, I guess. So
Right.
anyway, so I just applaud you for recognizing that, right? And just keep on going, self-care first.
Yeah. It's a big thing in my life. I could always do more, but I try to eat right. I take ridiculous amounts of vitamins. I walk every day for half an hour, things like that. Oh, you know, here's something I want to share. When you get a vision, and a vision is just an idea, right? But you kind of see it, and then something opens up. And I said, I really need to have more of an exercise routine, especially for my lower body. I think I've got to find something like that I could do, not something weird and crazy and hard. And all of a sudden, found a YouTube video popped up, and it was great. It was about how, as you're getting older, you have to strengthen your legs and your lower body. And it gave a number of exercises that you can do that because as your legs get weaker as you get older, your your mobility, your ability to get around, all of these things really decrease dramatically. You see people that are walking around in walkers. I have a friend like that. He can barely walk anymore. And it showed these simple exercises you could do for a few minutes every day. And I went, yay. So it's interesting when you have a vision, often the solution comes. And especially if you're in a making a difference mindset. It's not like a problem, it's like an opportunity. What is that thing I could do? And that happens just all the time. Just stuff shows up for me. Who else is that true for? Yeah, it's a common thing. So it's like letting your visions live, not trying to make it happen. It's like open for it to happen. It's different. It's not effortful. It's not so hard. It's a lot easier. Okay. So, couple sharing for a couple more people, Hazen. You're muted.
I just wanted to add something.
Yeah.
I really follow in this little guy, Albert Einstein.
Albert?
Um, what's wonderful, there's so many wonderful quotes from Albert Einstein, and one I think fits with something you just said. And that is that he denied, when he was interviewed, he denied that he was so much more brilliant than everybody else. Although probably everybody sitting here would say, yes, he must have been. But he denied that. He said he just has insatiable curiosity. And I think that that's a big piece of what you're encouraging us to do in this. And that's kind of what I wanted to share with everybody, this idea that when we're curious about where can we make a difference, what can we do, how can we find something that makes a difference, that curiosity, being open to listening to our own thoughts and others to be able to come up with ideas.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Albert just said he had insatiable curiosity.
Yeah. I mean, there's some qualities like curiosity that are really important. I just wrote about that the other day. For instance, persistence is really important, and patience is important, and acceptance is important. You know, acceptance is however things are, even if they're screwed up, that's the way it is. And then you deal with what you have with whatever you have. I am definitely not as smart as many people, definitely. And I'm smarter than some people. So if I'm always wishing I was smarter, it's like putting a stop on me. Instead of saying, well, I'm as smart as I can, what can I do with what I got? And as a result of that, I've created a lot of pretty great things, not because I'm a genius by any means, but I'm really persistent and curious. And just because Albert Einstein is curious, will probably never be quite as curious as Albert Einstein was. And a genius for curiosity. He was a smart guy as well, right? But and he also talked about he got a problem in his head and he thought about it a lot, but he did an effort at it. And then the idea would come to him in the shower. That happens to me all the time. It's like I'm trying, what is that? And then pow, one day I wake up and there the idea is. Okay, we got people with their hands up. Maynard.
Uh, okay, let me lower this. Yeah, number of thoughts. The fact we started talking about Albert Einstein, I love that Albert Einstein talked about in our whatever words you want to use, our crazy world, that he believed and I believe in a benevolent universe. I get it. My ancestors perished in the concentration camp. I get all the horror, but I choose to believe that most people are good. And so I don't think about things as a project because I'm much more spiritual. Like I have a love tour and I've had it for a number of years as a corporate psychologist, um, talking about love around the world. And I love my brain, and Robert, you have an amazing brain. Um, but I love coming down into the heart and having the love come from my heart, as far as connecting with people. You can probably see in my background, but you can't see the whole place. I have paintings, love paintings that I commissioned, from artists in Ukraine to support the cause in Ukraine. And so many things just related to love. And I surround myself in love. I surround myself in beauty. People were talking about self-care. On my love tour, what I experienced so often, I've talked with tens of thousands of people around the world. I have stage 4 cancer. I can't physically, be running around anymore. Although I did go to Portugal 2 years ago and got a whole conference on emotional intelligence and mindful leadership of dancing to love. Um, I I think I focus a lot now on self love. And I went to yoga this morning. As far as the self-care piece, I love yoga. I go every day. I hug people. I kiss the instructors. I do the postures. I'm not doing headstands, that's for sure. Those days are long
But you're
gone.
doing the best you can at that, right? And you're totally
Robert,
immersing.
that's exactly. I do what I can.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't compare myself to other people. I'm just being Maynard, Dr. Love,
yeah.
and I have fun. I wear mushroom clothes. I have a hoodie on. If you can see it now, I have mushroom pants. It's fun. I have fun and play amidst, I get what's going on in the world, to say the least. But it's not like in Vietnam, like I would carry signs about protest. Well, I can't do that. I'm too old. I'm not strong enough. But I can, and I can radiate and spread love around the world. And ultimately, I believe, tying into Einstein, that that's the most powerful force in the world. And it's
Yeah.
a spiritual presence. I don't see a project, to me, in my world, is transactional. I'm in a more transcendental, state, and that's the state of love. And amazing things happen. And I'll end with this story of a student once came up to me when I was doing my postdoc fellowship at the University of California, San Diego, and he said he was in love with this woman, and she was moving back east, and everybody said, well, long distance relationships don't work out. And he said, I'm not trying to give advice, but he said, Doc, what do you think? And I just said, basically something, I don't remember what I said, something like follow your bliss. And some years later, I get an email from him saying, he went back east, he married her, they have 3 kids, and I'm Uncle Maynard, you know?
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, thank you. Okay, Nancy's next, and then we're going to start telling us your projects.
Yeah, hi. That's a hard act to follow, Dr. Maynard. I have to tell you, that's really beautiful. Um, One of the things that I just realized today, and I think this is applicable to something we were talking about earlier, um, I approached the project of what I have to contribute. I have an idea of a way that I wanted to be helpful to the people in my community who are maybe migrant workers or some kind of marginalized group who might be at risk of some of the violence that's being perpetrated against them. And I thought of some things that I could do personally, like um, print up some little cards that tells them in different languages of what their rights are so that they would know um, what they could do about a situation if it arises. But the mindset shift that happened for me today, and I'm really happy about this, is up till now, I've only thought about my contribution, me personally, towards some goal or project that I want to do. And it had not occurred to me, and I realize it probably would be better if it did, if I asked the people in those communities, what do they need? How would they like to be supported? And that's a huge shift. It's a different kind of thing because it still leaves me in a position where I can respond to what they say, but it will be highly aligned, I guess is the word that I want to say, uh, towards doing something really, if we talk about what really matters. And the first thing is something that matters to me because I want to help, I want to contribute. That's about me. But the way to really make a difference is find out what is needed from the community itself and respond to that in ways that I can and feel able. So I just want to contribute that as a part of our discussions that we're having.
If you take this on as a pursuit, a study, a commitment, whatever, you'll learn a lot of stuff. I mean, things will open up just amazingly. It's not like the only thing you're focused on, But if it's something that you keep coming back to, new things will open up, new projects, new people, new connections. I don't know if this is true for you, but I notice the words making a difference in the media all over the place now. Didn't used to notice that. It's all over the place. Almost every day, something about making a difference. People understand this concept. People do want to make a difference. So it's not some airy-fairy esoteric thing. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to tell us what your project is, and then what your next small step is in the project. Now, I want you to keep it small. I don't want you to tell the whole story about it. So we're going to do this pretty quickly. Then we're going to divide up into groups of three, and then you'll have more time to talk about your project in more depth. Okay? So it might be um, so I'll just give mine first. So my Making a Difference project is the MAD project itself. The Making a Difference project, which is getting people together to take on MAD projects. And the next step for me is always just the next thing to write. And I never know what it will be. I just know it goes out on Tuesdays and Fridays. So, by Monday or Thursday, sometimes I'm a week ahead, but that's always my next step. What's the next message about it? So it really keeps it simple. I don't have any grand plans other than that. I've just gone one step at a time, not knowing what I was doing, except here's the thing I'm writing about next. Okay, so since I see you both up at the top here, so let's do Nancy and then Jerry. So Nancy, tell us your project and your first little step, or your next step.
Okay. Yeah, I think I spoke a little bit about it previously, but it's to find ways to assist the marginalized people in my community in some way that truly helps them. Um, my first step was going to be printing off some materials, but I have, after my realization today, I think my next step is going to be find ways to connect with them and start asking questions.
Yeah, sounds great. Talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bring your project down to earth, and nothing is more down to earth than what you're going to do next. The little thing you're going to do tomorrow that maybe only takes a minute, but that can really move things. Okay, Jerry is next. Jerry.
Well, my project is to collect volunteer stories, but not focusing on what they volunteer on, but why do they do it? And I have kind of done testing and things like that, and people find the why is what inspiring, not the what.
Ah,
And basically, right now my goal is to collect, and with other people's help, to collect 60 to 90 stories. And the intent of all this, right, is that if we can bring those stories to universe and people read it and they can be inspired by the why, then hopefully they will step out of their little their their box or their own circle and maybe thinking about doing volunteer work.
yeah. So what's your next little step?
Collecting stories. And
Well, how many have you collected already?
I collect 12 and I got other people already written 4 of them. So we got 16 so far.
You've got 16 so far. So to be clear, your next step is to get the next story.
Yeah, and I just came back from interviewing somebody, so I'll be
Oh, you
writing that
did.
story today.
So you're on track. You're on the track. And
Yeah,
the way to stay on that track is to keep collecting stories until you go, okay, I have enough. And then you figure out, well, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to do it? Et cetera, et cetera. Who
right.
knows where it will go? It might end up being a feature movie. You never know. Did anyone ever see that movie called Pay It Forward?
Yeah.
It was kind of the similar kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this randomly. Let's see. Graham Rose.
Right. Thank you, Robert. My MAD project, it's got a title, which I think is useful. It's called From Crisis to Confidence, a 12-week job readiness journey. I'm creating a 12-week job readiness coaching and mentoring program for disadvantaged men, many of whom are unemployed, struggling with confidence, and often only engaging through the food bank or housing support. The goal is to help these individuals rebuild a routine, regain hope, and take supported steps toward volunteering or employment, even if they feel stuck or overwhelmed. Why am I doing it? Because I've personally experienced what it's like to lose direction and struggle with mental health, and I know the power of small supported steps. Many of these men feel invisible or ashamed, and I want to offer a space where showing up is enough and where we celebrate every bit of progress. What's my first step? To finalize and plan the first week of the program, helping participants get into a routine and begin rebuilding their confidence.
Fantastic. Now you really thought it through, which is great. And, sometimes creating, especially if it's a program that you're doing, it's good to write it out. What are the first steps? What's the purpose of it? Blah, 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 all that stuff. And sometimes it's not necessary to write it out. Some people freeze then they're told to write it out. But you can write it out on a piece of paper like this. It doesn't have to be fancy. So, but sounds like a good plan to me. I love it. And there's definitely a need there. Fantastic. Okay. Let's do Joyce.
Hi, thanks. I've been through a period of real burnout, and so I'm really relieved to hear that there's other people who are using this for now to focus on themselves. And so my first project is I'm looking at like 6 or 8 weeks to really rebuild my body. And I think my first small step will be some planning and organization around food because I tend not to eat enough healthy food. I grab something. And so that's my first step is to discover some ways to enjoy taking care of myself in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good. Every morning I have a protein drink with collagen. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Peter Swanson.
Hi, my project is I made a film about an organization. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I made a film about an organization called the Interfaith Center on Corporate Responsibility, or ICCR. And what they do, it's a ecumenical organization. They use the power of their financial assets to engage with corporations as stockholders and make these corporations better corporate citizens and also more valuable. And it's a really wonderful story that not many people know about, and it's making a difference in a lot of areas in terms of climate and social justice and things like that. And my film's been sitting on the shelf for too long, so I want to get it out there. And especially I'm going to target initially Catholic colleges who have big endowments and may not know the story. And I'm going to start with the local one, Holy Cross. And I heard they had a financial club there, so I'm going to approach them and see if they want to take a look at the film.
Fantastic. Good. Would you be willing to make the film accessible to people on my email list?
Sure.
So I would it would be a topic of one of the newsletters, and it's online under Vimeo, I think, and then there's a code you have to put in to access it.
Yeah, I haven't yet opened it up to the public yet, and I'm still debating about when to do that, but I can absolutely give you yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you send it to me by email again because I'm not
Okay.
sure if I still have it. I watched it. It's fantastic. Um, what faith organizations are doing for companies to say, hey, let's do good in the world. And a lot of these are oil companies and power companies and people like that. And it's like they're communicating so powerfully that a lot of these companies are going, okay, sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. I mean, it really is making a difference at on an environmental level and a um, societal level. So yeah, fantastic.
Good.
All right. Okay. Let's do sign Hazel.
Okay, hello everybody again. I have two things on my mind, and I think I probably should focus on one first and then the other, but I'm going to share quickly both of them. One of them is that I did a TED Talk a few years ago and have gotten a lot of feedback on the TED Talk. It's on the subject of mind mapping. And if you don't know TED Talks, they're free. You get on YouTube or something. You just look up my name and mind mapping. You can see it if you want to. But what has happened is I've gotten feedback from people that say that the way the TED organization did it, they didn't give enough information to people. People want to use that TED Talk to learn to do mind mapping well. And mind mapping is a way for people to learn quicker, better, more effectively, take better notes, explain things better to other people. It's a wonderful tool. And so I've been asked, could I do something? So one project I have on and off thought about and that I really need to do is do a little course that would give people that next step after the free TED Talk to be able to really use this as a thinking, an effective way
So
for them.
I'm hearing sort of some conditional words here. Are you going to do this or not?
Yes,
Okay, good. And then once
I've actually put an outline together already. I've done pieces of it, but
you're already started.
I did start, but then I go away and okay, and
Yeah.
then I have another smaller one, which I want to tell people because I really believe in this.
Okay.
Um, a young man joined my family, married into my family, you might say. He's from a very poor family. I think his parents are Mexican. They live here now. I worry about the family all the time. But anyway, what happened is that the college, he wanted to go to college and they couldn't afford it. And the college just kept encouraging him to take loans. Oh, don't worry about it. Just take a loan. You can pay the tuition. And that was for the advantage of the college, not for the advantage of this young man, because he graduated with a ton of debt. And now he is working full time, but so much money has to go to pay this debt. And I'm trying to help him pay off the debt because the interest keeps increasing and all of that.
I hear
And
you.
I feel as though people born into a poorer family
Okay. Hazel,
can't do
focus.
this.
What's your project
Yes.
for that?
Here's what I did. I already started this. I just want you to know.
Okay.
Every payment that he gives, I double it so that so that it gets paid twice as fast and brings the interest down and hopefully gets it to the point that he doesn't owe any money anymore.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Okay, so it's okay to do two things, right?
It's okay to do 1,000 things,
Well, not
but
to be too
but don't
distracted,
but
but two
don't
things.
sometimes people do so much they never get anything done.
Mhm.
So that's not a lot to do. You write a check every month, but that's great. It's family.
Mhm.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'm starting to feel this just might be a good idea after all.
Oh,
Okay, John Freedom.
Great. Thanks, Robert. I'm feeling inspired already. Listen to everyone. So well, so like Hazel, I actually have two projects. One is I'm leading an ongoing class slash group on Tuesday evenings I call Transformational Tuesdays. And it's an hour-long program. We do about 20 minutes of psychocalisthenics, which are mindful movements to get into our bodies but raise awareness. And then I'll talk about a topic for about 10 minutes about, compassion or releasing stress or heart math or, something what's going on, you know, that's going on. And then about 20 minutes of a practice of some kind. And the practice can be EFT or tapping or something called havening or mindfulness or whatever. And that's an ongoing project that I've been doing for the last couple of years, but I'm putting more energy into it now. Okay. Then the other project is is something called Operation. I can take it from here, and this was developed by a lady named Lisa Forbes, who she was a black lady in Chicago who something happened. I don't know. She attacked. Anyway, she wound up killing her ex-husband and was thrown to jail for 12 years for manslaughter. Anyway, she got out, but she's turned her life around using EFT, which is some of you may be familiar with, is a tapping technique. And so she's bringing EFT sessions to what she calls restored citizens, for people who are recovering from trauma, incarceration trauma. And so I've been on, so I've joined the board of directors of that organization, and specifically I'll be, coordinating research for them.
Okay.
And the next step is that there are several decisions we need to make about how wide, how broad, or how narrow we want to define the research.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's very interesting.
Yes.
Great job, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go with Lois next.
Well, for me, I mentioned procrastination, and from your, the list of my project, give them the name to it. I honor my time because I'm so
I honor what?
my time.
My time. Yeah.
My time for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so ready to give of my time to everybody else. And things like my poetry, there are tons of things for me that I don't get around to do, and that I also.
Can you name one that you'd like to put more time into every day or every week?
Well, what I have decided to do is stretching. I have a half hour of a stretching thing, and I always say, well, I'll do that later. And I don't feel good if I don't stretch or move. And you guys were talking about walking. So, as you were saying, Robert, you walk every day. I used to walk every day for ages, and now I have not gone to the forest for months. And I have a forest right near here. So I've started with this stretching half an hour, and not beating myself if I don't get to it. But I'm very aware of this. I talked about weight, of if I don't honor what I'm hearing, like do your stretching now, I don't feel good. And I need to, I am paying attention to honoring, do that now. And yes, so the stretching is taking the first.
Okay,
Do
good.
that now.
Okay, great. Great.
Yes.
And you can build on that.
And I'll be able to honor all the other things that I do in the village, etc. But I know I'm starting out with this, so I can pay attention to how I feel and honor that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, we got more people joining us here. Okay, let's keep going. Let's move the pace along a little bit. Within the next 15 minutes or less, I want to get you into the group. So, Kathy Kuntz.
I have a nephew and a young lady who I consider a protege that are both in juvenile detention facilities.
Wow.
And my Make a Difference project is to send letters to them with writing prompts or imagination prompts or story prompts to give them something to think about to take them out of their situation.
Well, that's very interesting. Okay, good. So how often are you going to be sending things?
My first step is to send one to each of them per week. One per week.
Have you sent any yet?
I've sent two.
Okay, good.
One to each. I've sent one to each.
Are you expecting a response?
I don't think so.
Not necessarily.
I'm not expecting a response.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, Kathy, great. Great. Okay, next is Jean Gladden. Jeannie.
Yes, Jeannie. Yeah, that's good. My focus at the moment is eliminating all items in my home that serve no utilitarian purpose. And I started doing this this summer, and I've really picked up some momentum, and I'm starting to have fun with it. And my why for doing this is I have no children, and I don't really want to leave a bunch of crap for my nieces and nephews to have to go through. And so I think they'll appreciate that. And any crap I want to give them, I'll give it to them now and be done with it. So that's the project that pulled me in this summer. I too have another project that I'm working on as well called Just Keep Growing. And it is a community for people who want to expand their impact in whatever way is calling to them.
Okay, sounds like this very connected to this. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I love the idea of decluttering. I'm working on that too. It's sort of an ongoing thing to have a space where only the stuff you want is in your space, not a lot of crap. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, it's great. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's do Sonia.
Hi, good afternoon again. My project is a financial coaching sessions, and I want to do it in two parts. One for probably businesses. I might be paid for that, but then I want to really reach out to marginalized peoples and groups. You would hear people on the radio saying people need things for back to school or for parenting groups or for marginalized groups. So I want to get into those groups and ask the organizers if they would like to, if people are interested in financial coaching, which might be able to help them move a little bit out of the situation that they're currently in. So on two areas that, and one of the first things I want to do is get a brochure published. And the second thing I want to do is to set meetings or to call those marginalized groups and to speak to them and to get meetings with those people.
Is this something that would be volunteer or that you'd charge money for?
Well, for the marginalized groups, it's definitely volunteer, and I have done church groups and I've done conferences and things like that that have never not been paid. So this is part of an ongoing situation there.
That's great. We sort of take it for granted, certain things in life like basic financial literacy, balancing your checkbook, saving money, all those kinds of things. Some people are just terrible at it. They just don't. Yeah, that's great. Very good. Thank you, Sonia. This is really inspiring, guys. Really, really great stuff. Okay, the next is Duncan.
Okay. Thanks, Robert. I was so relieved when you said it was okay to do 1,000 things, you know. So my small project is evolving the Humans Are Miracles movement, which is an umbrella that I've come up with over the last month or two that basically covers a lot of what we're doing. And essentially, we have the movement is three parts. One is healing, one is teaching, the other is awakening, and underlying the whole thing is the value and perspective that we are mortal beings and we are immortal beings, and that awakening to the immortal part, cultivating that and serving from it is absolutely essential to meeting the challenges of our day globally and personally. So that's the big picture. The very specific things immediately. I have a lot of sound treatment programs we've developed for stress, for sleep, for cancer, for all different kinds of things. And so it's in the immediate future, within the next 30 days, having mini webinars that introduce people to some of these tools and opportunities, and then having the infrastructure in order to support that. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
some of the
fantastic.
picture.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sounds like that could keep you busy forever.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be slowing down at 82, but I'm just starting to get my pace.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, next is Laura.
Well, that was interesting timing that you put me right after Duncan, Robert. No coincidence. I have no question. So, uh, let's try and make this really quick. All right. So, number one, I am also decluttering because I'm in a soul coaching program with Denise Lynn, a Cherokee shaman. Number two, I'm also doing a lot of personal stuff because I had 3 major surgeries in 11 months. So, I'm doing a lot of post-op recovery. There was something else, but it's out of my head, so I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm a certified transformational voice teacher, and I've always been focused on bringing people's authentic voice out into the world and helping them do that. But as of late, as of late meaning, the last year or so, I have realized that my values are slightly changing. They've always been freedom, flexibility, and creativity. And I'm now realizing that inner peace is way up there. And I'm starting to realize that when people disconnect from that immortal higher part of themselves, that's when we disconnect from inner peace. And that's when we create all these bad behaviors that we're seeing in the world. And so what I would like to do and what I would like to help see happen is I'm working on a book, which my husband calls Bold. It's about those principles of taking your daily life and trying to connect with that higher part of you. And so, number one, I'm going to finish that book, which I'm nearly done. Most of it's already up on my website. I've been wanting to get into sound healing, Duncan. Really interesting. I know a lot of people who do sound healing. So I signed up for this daily Om class on how to help people use their voices for healing purposes. And I don't really know what else all is going to come from this because my husband is also retiring next year and we're going to be moving out of state probably. So there's a lot going on. But what I do know is my focus is creating education, space, wisdom sharing for people who want to connect more consistently with that higher part of themselves. They want to heal themselves. They want to make a difference and be a part of the solution in this world. Be a part of a good, positive, holistic that helps marginalized people, that helps marginalized environment, that helps the whole, which is what we all need to look at, the whole, when we are talking about how we can make a difference. Because if I'm helping and I'm hurting you, I'm not helping myself, really, am I? No, I only think I am.
Right.
So that is my whole focus. And I know that my next step is going to come about from meeting with whoever my group is within this group. But also I'm going to start that daily Om class on using vocalization for sound healing.
Okay. Wow. Just a few little things. Someone who was on just left. Oh, there you are. Carolyn Potts.
Yes. Hi. As I said in my email to you, Robert, I'm kind of like on the fence, not probably going to be participating because right now instead of doing what I'm supposed to do for my accountant in my 2024 taxes, I'm doing this. So I have a propensity to avoid current commitments.
So
And
what's the if you could take one making a difference project, large or small, what would it be?
well, like the other people here, getting my environment decluttered, I know will lead to greater opportunities to serve in the community.
Have you taken that on yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to. I've had an accountability partner who actually
you remember Larry Galler, he had a car accident and he's had some health issues and so he's not been available. So I'm kind of stalled on my, we would do Pomodoro methods. And I was making great progress. And then with that great progress, a lot of magic synchronicity of connecting with different people and having opportunities to serve in the community were showing up. So I'm kind of in a stalled place at the moment. So,
Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like stalled. It seems like one thing jump-started something else. So, at a certain point, when your taxes are done, you can get back to that.
my accountant's expecting me to show up with all 80 pages of documents on Monday afternoon, and I've not printed out one page yet because, oh, I ran out of ink and I'm waiting for Amazon to deliver.
That's funny. Yeah, I know that one. I still have to complete my taxes, just to let you know. I'm
Oh,
always,
good.
always late on my taxes. I guess they're due October 15th or something.
Well, yeah, well, what I closed my corporation at the beginning of this year, and I completely forgot when his assistant called and said, "Okay, we got to do your corporate return." I go, "Oh, no, I'm not a corporation anymore." And oh, right, I was in 2024. So
So,
I'm
yeah.
so like, oh,
Anyway, Carolyn, it's good to see you. Carolyn has been a friend and client over, I don't know, the last 20 years,
and I thought it was 100.
100 years. Yeah. Yeah, well, I've been doing what I'm doing for whatever the hell I'm doing for 40 something years.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
I
met
think
you
that's
in
everybody.
person.
What's that?
Met you in person at that hotel in downtown San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. Way back when. So I think we covered everybody. So now we're gonna put you in groups. And what's that?
I can't commit to being in a group right
No,
now.
it's just for now. It's not
Oh,
forever.
okay.
Relax. Look, making a difference project doesn't have to take up a lot of your time. If you could put a little focus on your making a difference project for 5 or 10 minutes a day. As I said, you weren't here early. I said the main thing is my making a difference, the M.A.D team. And the main thing I do every week is I write something. And sometimes that takes half an hour, sometimes it takes a day, depending on whatever. It doesn't have to take a day. Sometimes, I take AI to help me edit things, and things go really fast these days. If we put ourselves in this box of making a difference has to look like this, then we're already sunk. Instead of developing a mindset that everything we do makes a difference. That's just as important, taking on a making a difference mindset. See, if it's I'll only make a difference when all my clutter is done, when this is done, when that is done, and then you'll be dead by the time that happens. Instead of, yeah, I want to think about making a difference every day, little things. That's the idea, okay? So we've got a few people have dropped off the call, so we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to set up breakout rooms. Okay, everybody, good. We survived it. We made it work.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
Putting
so
us in rooms.
anything anyone would like to share from your sharing in your group of three, any insights or whatever? That bad, huh?
Maybe just a question, Robert, because
Yeah.
we were saying we'd like to sort of keep up with what each other's doing and so on. And we're just wondering, is there going to be like a community forum where we can post and sort of keep up to where everybody's at and so on? Or
Not yet.
okay.
I could say a lot about forums. One thing is they're not my favorite thing. I always forget to go in and connect, et cetera, et cetera. But as we go, if we get a more solid group going forward, I already have a forum template set up. I just have to change a few things and we could use it. Most important thing is to work on your project. You can be in touch with me. You can be in touch with the other people in your group. The way this will work as far as the recording is I'll do a link to Friday's recording on the next Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, I'll put it up. It'll be on the website. I'll point to it along with whatever article I write next time. So, and if you want to share this with people, you can share the M.A.D website, ordinaryvisionaries.com/MAD. You can point them to the place where the video is. I'm not sure. I think it might be ordinaryvisionaries.com/video or something like that. You're free to just share that with people.
Well, we have, will there be a list of people with email? Like, because there's different people talking earlier, and I thought, I'd like to, send them an email or something, will there be an opportunity to do that?
Well, I'm not, if there's someone that you know and you want their email, I can get it for you. But I'm not going to publish all the email addresses at this time.
Okay.
But if you really want to connect with Nancy, say, what's Nancy's connection? And I'll get it to you. Yeah. I want to facilitate it, but I'm not my favorite thing is creating infrastructure. Maybe I need to farm that out.
That's your project.
I've done many groups in the past where I created a lot of infrastructure that was never used. And I decided that wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing is your project and your mindset of making a difference, and et cetera, et cetera. And anytime you want to email me with an idea or an insight that you've had about this, that's really appreciated.
Okay.
I had a breakthrough with this, I'm always looking for ideas for articles, so like that. So, anything else? Okay.
Yeah.
So, time to get on with your Friday, the end of the week.
Yeah.
Go for
this
a
was
walk.
great today. This was great today, Robert. Thank you. And thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll hopefully see some of you or maybe all of you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
Okay, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care. Yes.